Thanks for hanging in there. Hi, Melissa. If you, I think that I'm not sharing live on Spruce Society right now, right? In there. Okay. Now I should be. Yes? Okay. Good. Okay. Please feel free to send me a text or unmute yourself and talk, Melissa, if something else goes wrong. Okay. Hi, everybody. Let's start over. I'm Kari Lewis. I am an RCD under Melissa Kohler, who I just love and adore. So I'm thankful to be part of this community. We're going to talk today. This will be a pretty quick call, but should be pretty value packed as well, and nice and simple. We're going to talk about just sharing with authenticity, specifically on social media, but honestly, this can apply to so many things. Adrienne Lentine will most likely also be sharing. She had something come up. So if she doesn't, I have her notes. So we will stay tuned. Okay. So today, let's just dive right in. I have my notes here in front of me. I'm going to cover 4 main things about when you're sharing on social media, how to do it from a place that just feels simple, feels true to you and who you are and how you want to share. And then also just makes you feel like you know what you're doing. Okay, so first thing, I've been talking about this for so long, and it's very, very simple, but just to speak conversationally whenever you can. That means that if you are writing something down, I love to read it out loud. I love to read it out loud just to myself. I know that can feel funny, but I read it out loud so that I know if what I'm writing actually sounds like me. If I'm taking something from someone else, if my upline was sharing content or a product education or something like that, and I want to take it and also share it, I will always tweak it into my own voice too, because the people who know me, in real life, they know what I sound like. People who follow me in stories and hear the way that I talk and the way that I just do my life, they know what I sound like and they know my voice. So I want to put things into my own voice. And so my biggest tip there is just, if you're not sure, read it out loud, and that will help so much with knowing how to then tweak it. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is using your product while on video. So let's say that you're doing Instagram stories or a reel or something like that on social media. The conversion rate or the likelihood of somebody purchasing what you're sharing about goes up. I think it's 10 times when you are actually using the product in that video. So oftentimes, other brands, if they have asked to collaborate with me, they will share or they will ask me to, let's say that it's teeth whitening strips or something. They will want their influencers who are sharing about their product to use the product in the bathroom, to make their stories or their content about teeth whitening strips in the bathroom, because it helps the viewer and the people who are following you to put themselves into your shoes. It helps them to see oh, okay, this is so simple, obviously, but it helps them to see oh, I would be standing in my bathroom and this is how I would apply my teeth whitening strips. The exact same thing applies to essential oils. If you are always just speaking of them, that's going to be so different, and people can't visualize their own life using it. So for example, me being on this call and not pulling my oils out would be inauthentic, right? It's not as easy. I'm going to pull out my EndoFlex, you guys, because I haven't yet today. Actually, it's usually something I start with every day, and I'm going to put it over my throat for thyroid support. And then I also will do it over my mid back, which is my adrenals. It is that simple. I want to make using essential oils as simple and easy to imagine for anyone that I'm wanting to enroll, or current members who are just maybe not using them as often. I want to make it so easy. So I want to show them exactly how I'm using it, because the more often that they see it, the more they will then be able to picture themselves in that situation. Okay. The third thing I want to talk about is just kind of going back to our roots always. People no longer have to enroll with a premium starter bundle. They can enroll with anything that they want to, which is awesome. You can now, like if you are an expert in female hormones, for example, you can share all day long about the products like Endoflex and Progestins Plus and Femigen and whatever you want it to be, Master Formula. And you can talk Mineral Essence. You can talk about products that are really like niched down into what you do. However, when you are looking to build a business and you want to be duplicating of this, I'm so sad. Melissa, did it just end for you too?
It cut out, but I'm on Facebook and
it says this live video has ended. I can either just start a new one or I can finish the like talk here and then share the recording afterward. What do you want me to do? Either is fine.
I'll
go live again.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that. Oh, someone just said you are on.
Oh.
What?
Oh, yeah. Huh.
You're still live. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. Well, thanks, guys.
Perfect.
I see that the video has ended. That's so funny. Okay. Sorry. So let's just dive right back in. Okay. I was talking about how you can be like an expert in your field and you can really niche down into specific products that you like are an expert in or that you absolutely love. That is awesome. But when you're looking to duplicate and you want people to then enroll and become brand partners and start sharing as well, we want that to be, again, as simple as possible. So I'm really like pushing my team and encouraging them to go back to premium starter bundles. They are so easy. They're an easy button for people, right? It's something that applies to everyone because there are products for everyone in it. And so you can share about that. And then it's so easy for new brand partners to come in and say like, oh, I know exactly how to teach about this because I watched Kari do it too, or I watched this person that enrolled me do it too. And so there's so much like easy content that comes from that. And then anything else that you want to make your niche or be an expert on or teach further product education, that is a push for loyalty rewards. You just encourage them like, hey, grab this on your next loyalty order. Grab this on your next loyalty order. I want to talk about Mineral Essence and Ningxia and how I drink it all day, every day. And I love it so much. Put Mineral Essence onto your loyalty order. But for those just getting started, I want you to start with a premium starter bundle. That could be like a Ningxia starter bundle. It could be the oils one. The oils one is my favorite because I just think it's incredible and they're all such a good value, but that one is beyond. So anyway, that's kind of for easiest sharing and duplicatability, if that's a word, start with the premium starter bundle and then everything else goes to loyalty rewards. And then my last quick tip is to use your products on social media and educate about them outside of sales. I don't want you to be like swinging. I heard this analogy one time about swinging treetop to treetop and going like one event to one event to stay encouraged and motivated in your business, but we need to make our business real in the jungle. Same thing goes for this. I want you not to just swing treetop to treetop, sale to sale. And that's when you come in and you share about stuff because that's how you also lose authenticity, right? Like people will just know that I'm only here for the sale. There is no shame in selling on social media, especially you guys, we live in a fantastic time of social media world where everyone is selling and it's just not even weird anymore. Like you just come to expect it. And so if you have any holdup about that, like that's gotta go. Everyone is selling on social media. And I don't think it needs to be a weird or a bad thing. Like own it and take advantage of that in the best way. But educate for the sake of educating and talk about products outside of sales and times when you are always like, you can share your link as much as you want to, but I want it to be something that you share about just in your day-to-day life as well. Like today I showed this bag that I have and I like talked about, hey, these are the oils that I have in it and here's what I use them for and here's why I love them. It has nothing to do with a sale. I'm not trying to do anything other than teach people and normalize using my oils in my everyday life. Okay, that was the end of my notes. Adrienne, where are you at, my friend? Would you like to talk or do you want me to read your notes for you? Oh, she's here. Okay.
I can talk.
Okay, go girl.
Pulling it together. So I was listening to a podcast. You know, I don't know. Okay, let me just pause. I don't know if your guys' brain works like mine at all. My brain only remembers crap that it actually needs to remember. I don't remember details of anything. Do I know who the guy is that leads this podcast? No. Have I listened to it 100 times? Yes. But I'm like, not important information to me. Anyways, it was really good. And he was talking about talking and telling versus listening and learning, and how that is such a crucial part of when we are trying to sell anything online, in person, anything like that, is we need to be listening and learning to the person versus talking and telling. He was giving an example of, well, first off, he was saying he's kind of funny. I wish I had his name. He's kind of funny because he goes against the grain of what a lot of people that like try to coach network marketers say, because he's like, everybody tells you that every conversation you have, you always need to be looking to close it. Like that's what needs to be on your radar. That's the main thing that you need to be thinking of. And he's like, no, that is not what you need to be doing. You need to be looking at disarming the person you're talking to. And by that sounded, when he first said that, I was like, that sounds kind of weird. And then he explained what it meant. And I was like, that is 100% it. You need to share the parts of your story that bring you to a relatable level, that make you vulnerable, that allow people to actually connect with you and be able to see themselves in your shoes. Mm-hmm. And if you don't do that, if you are somebody that's like, hey, I'm on social media and I'm trying to sell there, but I'm not ever willing to get vulnerable at all with anything, you're going to have a really hard time being successful in sharing stuff. I am not saying that that the internet is owed every detail of your personal life by any means, but especially for products that have been like life-changing for you, usually there's some sort of like problem that the product fixed for you. So if you're not willing to get vulnerable and honest and share the hard moments of it, then it's going to be really hard to sell it. So he was saying an example of, say your market is moms and you get on and you do a live or you do a reel or whatever, and you're talking about how, it's really hard to have energy throughout the day when you've got all the kids and all the sports and all the things, and your energy is so low that it just makes you feel really guilty as a mom because you're not, living up to your full potential. He said that by doing that not only is sharing a problem, you want to do problem content versus product content. So you're sharing a problem, and it's a problem that so many others can relate to. You're making yourself vulnerable by not just saying, here's my problem of low energy. You're making it a personal touch of like, that makes me feel kind of guilty in the mom department because I know that I could do better, or I could, if I had more energy, I'd be more involved and patient or whatever mom however that looks like. So he says, when you share something like that and somebody connects with you, that is when you want to actually go after them, and not from the closing mindset, but from the interaction mindset. Start the conversation with the problem. And when they say, whatever, if you're like doing a reel, say you did a reel of it and they have a comment and they say, oh yeah, I struggle with low energy throughout the day too. And I've tried drinking more water and that helped me a little bit. So when you're interacting with them, because they commented on your thing, so clearly they have some sort of interest in it, when you go back to interact with them, start with that, reference their comment, say, hey, I really appreciated you sharing that, adding water and helped you out in the energy department or whatever it is. Don't go in with asking yes and no questions, because that is not how you're going to get a conversation going. The whole purpose of this is to be able to let them be seen, heard, like make them realize like, hey, you actually care what they're saying. Nothing about this business can you be faking and actually do well? And you have to be sincere in what you're doing. And because it's a relationship business, and we all know that. If you've been doing this for even a hot minute, you know it's a relationship business. So avoid asking the yes and no questions. Acknowledge what they're saying. He says his formula is acknowledge, relate, and share, which I thought was really good for a conversation. So acknowledge, relate, and share. So, you know, hey, Sarah, I totally get it. I've struggled with the low energy too. Obviously, I shared about it in my reel. I'm really interested in the things you've tried so far. Is it just water? How did that go for you? And when you are asking them questions, I wish that I wrote the stat down. I did not. It is mind blowing. I don't know if you guys have felt this. I'm sure you have, because we are all human. But have you ever walked away from a conversation with somebody, if we're being honest, walked away from a conversation with somebody and was like, wow, that was such a good conversation. Like, I really enjoy being around them. And then you know, an hour later, you're sitting there reflecting on what was said and you realize, they actually didn't really say much. They just asked me questions and I got to talk the whole time. People freaking love talking and talking about themselves and sharing what wisdom they have and what tips they have. People love that. And they feel connected to you emotionally when you allow them to do that. So acknowledge what they're saying, relate to them, and then share. Say, I totally get it. I've struggled with that too. What other things have you tried to fix that issue? And then he says, talk about it in terms of a goal, not just a product again. So say, if you had more energy, what would that look like? Like, what would that look like for your day? How do you think that would change, you know, your parenting day? And how do you think that would change for you being able to be a wife and whatever the relationship is? What would your goal be for that? And then you transition into actually talking about the product. Say, you know, thanks so much for having this conversation with me. Make sure that if they ask you any questions or they share anything, you're constantly going back and drawing more out of them so that they can really feel heard. And then say, you know, I actually help a lot of people with this because this used to be a struggle that I had for so long. So I've learned how to help people with this. And one product that I have that really just helps with it a lot, I would love to tell you about it. I don't know if it's for you or not, but if you're interested, I would love to send you over some information. He said that a key part of that also is not saying, I have this product, you know, I've seen success with it, so have others, and I know you're going to love it. He said, don't say that, because as much as it's like great to be, you know, suggestive sales and like, I know this is going to be the best thing ever. By doing that, sometimes people's guards go up of like, okay, how does this chick even know what, if this is going to work for me? How does she know if this is exactly what I even need? But if you say, I'm not sure it's for you, but I really think it could possibly help. Can I send you for some information on it? It lets their guard down. It's all coming back to the disarming them, making them not feel like, red flag, like she's just trying to sell me something. So he said, we always think that we need to, this is a little side note, but I actually was like, heck yes, man. So I've recently been trying to revive my Pinterest, and that's really annoying, by the way, if I'm being honest, but I've been trying to do it. And one of the things that this girl that redid my Pinterest with me, she's really great at what she does. And she said, and I kind of laughed when he said this, she told me that in every, they essentially like have like little reels over there, but they're called idea pens. And she's like, at the end of every idea pen, you need to put a call to action. Like, follow me on Instagram at this handle for more healthy living tips, for more skincare tips, for whatever. And he said, this is like a total tangent that he had, but I was like, that's so true. He said, we always think that we need to include a call to action. I mean, everybody always tells you that. Any real Instagram coach, they always tell you that. Have a call to action at the end, have a call to action, at least in the caption, have that. And he said, but in reality, the best call to action you can use is creating some good content. Like, your content will get comments, likes, shares, whatever, if it is good, way more than if it's just, but you told somebody to do something at the end. So that is the sum of my podcast from an unknown nameless man. That was really great. But I thought it was some really good things of talking and telling versus listening and learning, acknowledge, relate, share, and create the good content versus just the call to action content.
I love it. Adrienne, was it Bob Helig?
I don't know.
Oh, he does like yeah, he does.
Your virtual upline?
Yes.
Is what it's called.
Your virtual
okay,
upline.
then yes, that's his name.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
I am
good.
the
I
worst.
really like a lot of his stuff too. I had two things that I just wanted to add before we wrap up. One is a comment from Chris Johnson over in Spruce Society. He said, I worked sales for a long time. The best salespeople let the customers guide the conversation because you understand their needs and use their own words to meet those needs. Yeah,
Yes.
you're totally listening to them. And then honestly, you really are able to help them more. It's not just like a tactic, it's a way of actually being able to meet people's pain points.
Yep.
And then the other thing that just made me laugh is when you said, like, don't tell people that you're going to love this. My husband and I went and toured this like really cool outdoorsy school thing several months ago. And as we were leaving, I said to the girl that was like hosting it, I was like, thanks so much. This is amazing. It looks so cool. I mean, like, we'll probably see you again. And she goes, oh, you will. And I never went back. Because
Nope.
I was like, not really. That wasn't really the only reason, but it was an instant wall up. I was like, you don't know me. Like, don't tell me what I'm going to actually do or want. So funny how that tiny remark, she was just like, she was excited and proud about what she did, but it was like her telling me what was best for me totally turned me off. So I just like related to exactly what he said.
And I think there's a big difference between being really passionate and sharing how much something is amazing for you versus like projecting it onto another person. We have to be like, I freaking love this. I am obsessed with CBD Beauty Boost. I will slather my whole body in that when I'm a millionaire. Like, I will do that. But you don't want to just be like, yeah, this is the best skincare item that you will ever use in your life. Like, just don't do that. You can share with an absolute passion without, forcing it on somebody else.
Totally. Yep.
Oh, you'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to love CBD Beauty Boost. It's true. However,
It's true.
maybe you won't. Okay. That's all, you guys. There's a corporate call that starts in like 6 minutes over in Spruce Society too. So make sure to get on it. It's in Spruce Society, right, Melissa? Did I just make that up? Okay, cool. So get over there. Thank you guys for joining us. It was really fun. And I think that's all. Have a wonderful day.
Bye, guys.